Everybody, welcome to Live with Kim. Tonight we're talking about a very important topic, stress and dieting, of course. And if you're sitting there yelling the words, "I need this topic," into your computer, well, then that's what this is all about. Tonight's meeting was written just for you. And I have to be honest, it was written just for me as well. It's March already, and I'm actually really glad. I'm starting to get a little spring fever. I'm ready for spring. Are you guys? The snow is finally starting to melt a little bit here, and the ruts in the driveway where we've had 50,000 cars, parked all over our lawn, they're starting to show up. We've only had 2 employees so far this year have to call AAA to get pulled out of the mud. So I'm really looking forward to the warm days of the spring when everything's going to dry out. Do you guys realize how short a time ago we were kicking off the new year? You remember that? Think about it, all these Kimmies. It was not long ago. Life is moving so fast. So stop and think with me just for a minute about all the good intentions we had in New Year's. And all of our New Year's resolutions and our great goals that we had, those were only 8 weeks ago. So stop with me and reflect on that. What were they? What were your New Year's resolutions? What were the goals that you set as you, Jill, what was it that we were on in January? I'm trying to remember. Was it Santa's sleigh? How is it going for you? Are you on track with your goals? Some of you guys are like zipping right down. The weight losses are coming. You're feeling awesome. Others of you, you've hit a bump in the road and you're really struggling. So do you need to stop and recommit? Because I have to be honest with you, that's the story of the successful dieter, the person that does it long term. I mean, it doesn't just go away. One who is able to be successful for a long time and make this their lifestyle is one who is able to stop, reevaluate what's going on, where the problems are, and recommit whenever they need to. And sometimes that's pretty often. And then other times we really get on the road and we're feeling great. So now, while some of you guys are really stopping to reflect, to our newbies, I'd like to say a really quick hi. I'm glad that you're here. I can see everybody in here tonight. I didn't always have a computer screen, and now I do, so I'm really excited about that. I see a lot of our sweet, good oldies, and I'm not talking age here. And I see a lot of our Wednesday nighters, and I see some new names that I haven't seen yet, so I'm looking forward to getting to know you. If you're new tonight, raise your hand, and you do that by just typing the word new into the computer there, and then hit send. There's a little line underneath the chat. Just type in the word new and hit send, and everybody there is going to say hi to you. You can say more than that if you want to, or it's just like a meeting room. You can kind of sit in the back of the meeting room. You don't have to say anything at all. You can sit quietly and just observe. It's completely up to you. I also want to point out that the chats are going 100 miles an hour. This is the time that people like to get caught up. If you're feeling a little car sick by all that, you can hit the hide chat button and it will go away. You can always bring it back again if you want. Much of the conversation in there is really off topic to what I'm saying. But that's because these guys, your fellow members, have built a rapport with each other. They're getting to know each other. They're catching up with each other and motivating and encouraging each other. So they're kind of whispering in the back of the meeting room. Sometimes some of you guys are a little bit louder than whispering with all your caps and all that good kind of stuff. But it's just so great to be back with you guys after another week. Now, speaking of which, here comes the big question of the week. How's everybody doing tonight? How's your weight loss going? Are you on program? On the screen beside the chats and the video of me, there's an Ask Him a Question box right underneath me there somewhere. Anything that you type in there bypasses the chats, comes directly here to me. And if you want it to be private, please note that. But otherwise, I'd really love for you guys to put in there your weight losses, your NSVs. What is that? Do you guys know what that is? That's your non-scale victories. And honestly, if the scale is being stinky to you this week, those non-scale victories are what we have to hang on to, because they're the indication of really how well we're doing, more so than the scale. The scale is what we live for, but the non-scale victories are really important because that's our behavior. And that's what's going to get the weight off long term. So we would love for you guys to email them to us. Also email any questions, not email, but send it through the Ask Him a Question box right now, any point during the meeting. Send it on in. We're going to be gathering up those and we'll be able to shout those out to you guys at the end of the meeting or answer any questions. I have a wonderful surprise for you guys tonight. Dr. Jean is back with us here in the studio. So for those of you who weren't with us the first time, you've probably even seen her in the archives. She was a really big hit. Dr. Jean Bassani is Doctor of Chiropractic, also has a practice in wellness and whole foods. She knows all about all that kind of stuff. She's a wonderful source of information. She practices right here in Monroe, Connecticut. We absolutely love her, so will you. So if you have any aches and pains, any medical issues, you feel stressed, and you feel like the stress is keeping you from your weight loss and keeping your weight loss dreams kind of out of arm's reach, she's going to be giving us the 411 that we need to overcome that. So also, if you haven't checked out the new recipes this week, we've been getting lots of rave emails. Everybody's really excited, number one, about our new organic coconut, and also about using wonton wrappers in so many unique ways. So we've actually had a lot of interest and questions about where to find them and how to use them. So right now, real quickly, before we get into the rest of the meeting, I just want to briefly show you and also give you a cute new little recipe. This is what they look like. This is a wonton wrapper package. And this is an egg roll. Now, we didn't even mention the egg rolls, but this is the egg roll package, okay? They're basically the same product. But the egg rolls obviously are larger. The wonton wrappers are just uncooked dough, and I'll show you what they look like. And they're 20 calories each. This is what they look like. They're just a soft, uncooked dough. Now, the instructions on the package are for you to fill them, and you can fill them with just about anything. Of course, if you're doing some kind of Asian cooking, you're going to chop up a lot of cabbage and carrots and ginger, fresh ginger grated. So good. My mouth is starting to water. We're spitting all over the food here. Some chopped up cooked chicken, whatever you want to make a nice little mixture. We got a lot of recipes on the site. And you can do a lot of different things. You can make it into a little purse and pinch them up. But what we like to do, here's a new recipe here. I don't know if can you see this. I'm just going to put a little bit of shredded, fat-free, shredded cheese in here. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of water. And I'm just going to go around the edges of it like this, okay, just on half of it. And then I'm going to fold this over, and it seals it. And they stay nice and closed. Now, you can also make them into triangles if you want. Now, what they say to do on the package directions, once you finish making, and you saw how quick and easy that was, once you finish making this, they say to deep fry it. So that's going to kind of not be what we want to be doing, right? That's not the healthiest way to cook it. We just sprayed a little bit of olive oil in a frying pan. We cooked them up and we made these little hot cheesy pockets here. You can fill them with the cheddar cheese, which I've just done and showed you, and just kind of toast them up lightly on each side. You can also put them in the oven and bake them, or you can also use these and boil them. So there's a recipe on there. You can turn them into ravioli. So you can use these in a lot of different ways. The egg roll wrappers are identical, but they're just a lot larger. We've got a few new products just to give you a little sneak idea of what's coming up. We're going to turn these into delicious cannolis, really low fat, because there's no fat in these. There's almost no fat. There's a half a gram of fat in 3 large wonton egg roll wrappers. So these are about 50 calories and these are 20 calories. So just so you know, you get them in the produce section. This is Nasoya, Nasoya wonton wrappers. And again, with the egg rolls, they have to be refrigerated. So you're gonna buy them in the refrigerated produce section, usually over by where they have the like the soy crumbles and the healthier soy products. So they're usually over there. Yes, they do have to be refrigerated. And tonight we have a new idea on using them, these cheesy pockets. So this recipe is gonna be on the site. They are 31 calories each with the cheese filling. So if you're following exchanges, they're 1/4 of a dairy and 1/4 of a limited. And if you're following Weight Watchers, they're 1 point and they're 1 points plus. So there's all the information that you need. Make sure you take note of the handout attached to tonight's meeting also. And actually, before I talk about that, I want to read a little note that I got. This is from Sine Maytu. Thank you so much for sending this. You're such a dear. I'm sure she's in here tonight. I see you. Hi, how are you, sweetie? Thank you so much. We were so surprised. If you don't mind, I want to read the little note you sent, and I want to show what she sent because it has to do with you guys tonight. Kim, here's a little something you can use as giveaways during the internet or in-person meetings. So we're going to give them away tonight. You've done so much to help me and others, and when I saw these, I thought of you. Thanks, Pam, and Pam is Sine Metu, which means go forward without fear or go forth without fear. These are little travel mugs. They're absolutely adorable, and they have the word believe on them, a big B. They're so pretty. And the word believe on them. So tonight, we're going to be giving them away. Thank you so much. We were so overwhelmingly surprised. We love getting little fun things in the mail. So that was great. All right, so tonight we do have a handout for the meeting. If you're new, many of the meetings have a downloadable attachment. It's a PDF attached to the meeting, and you can download that at any time. It should not interrupt the broadcast, and go ahead and print it out. Or you can print it out at any time. It doesn't go away. It will be in the archives. This handout just gives a little bit of a tip on foods that increase stress and foods that reduce stress. So just a little guideline for you. And I don't know, when Dr. Jean comes on a little bit later, maybe we'll talk about that. So if you're under stress right now, we're going to go to Dr. Jean's office. I went a little bit earlier, 2 weeks ago, I think it was, to chat with her. I have to tell you, it was absolutely eye-opening, amazing. This woman's a wealth of knowledge. Let's hear what she has to say about stress. I'm here again at Connecticut Back and Wellness Chiropractic to see our favorite doctor, Dr. Jean Bassani. Hey Kim! Jean, it's so good to see you again.
Welcome back. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, why don't you come on back?
All right, sounds great. I gotta tell you, I'm feeling stressed.
So Kim, you're not familiar with chiropractic care?
Not at all.
Okay, why don't I treat you like a new patient, and I'll tell you exactly what we would do.
Okay.
And you know why we do it. We're here to talk a little bit about stress, right?
So I've come in, I'm stressed out, I'm just not feeling well.
You probably have pain. You're probably tired, and you don't know why.
Okay.
Right? So
wow, you know what? I really do.
You do know why?
No, I really do have pain and I'm tired. A little bit of aches and pains here and there.
Okay.
I just figured it was old age.
Old age. We now think it's normal to feel pain, and it's not. We really should be just gracefully getting old, pain-free, lots of energy, and lots of mobility. So we're under stress, and our bodies take it in at a real level, at a physiological level. It's not just some esoteric concept. Changes happen here, real changes. So people will come in and say, oh, it's just stress.
Well, how does our body react to stress?
Okay, let's start from a musculoskeletal standpoint. I'm going to get a little model, and I'll show you what happens. So for instance, this is your neck, and you've got these 7 little bones, okay? And so you've got the vertebra, you have the discs. What's inside of here is your spinal cord.
Right.
What controls your whole body is your nervous system. So your spinal cord, and then these little nerves come off the spinal cord. Those are called your spinal nerves, and they go everywhere, down your arm to your organs. So what happens when you get stressed? You tighten up, your heart starts racing, your shoulders go up around your ears, and this structure tenses up. Okay.
Is this that whole fight or flight kind of syndrome?
Yes, it is.
And we had that same response when we're feeling stressed as if we're actually
running from a lion.
A lion, okay.
The problem today is we never get to run from the lion. In the olden days, we'd be out farming, we'd be out doing physical, and we could work off the hormones that were being released. Now we're sitting at a desk.
Right.
And those hormones are just ravaging our bodies.
Can we move over just for a second? And I mean, this has to do with everything that we're all dealing with and living in life. But let's just talk about additionally what stress does for our weight and how it affects it.
Absolutely. When we're stressed, we have, those little adrenal glands that sit on top of our kidneys, and they secrete cortisol. Mm-hmm. And that's to rev up our body.
To get away from the lion.
To run.
Okay.
And unfortunately, like I said, we're not running, so we're just having to deal with this cortisol. And what cortisol does is chronic cortisol, if we're chronically stressed, it makes our blood sugar unregulated. Blood sugars that are
So
all
it can
over the
actually
place.
affect like pre-diabetes and things like that.
Oh,
Stress
absolutely.
can.
Yes. So we're hungry all the time. So we're reaching for whatever
We're
it
hungry
is,
because we've been secreting cortisol.
and the cortisol makes us hungry.
Okay.
If you have a high blood sugar, you feel satisfied. If it suddenly dips,
Right.
you feel like you're going to pass out and faint, so you go grab for something quick. Perhaps sometimes you're even grabbing for a donut, a candy bar, a glass of juice, which causes a precipitous rise in blood sugar, and then another. And so you're just on this blood sugar roller coaster.
Right.
Cortisol also reduces insulin resistance, so that means that the insulin can't bind to the receptor site on the cell and get blood sugar into the cell,
Okay.
where it can create energy for us.
Right.
So we've got all this blood sugar roaming in the blood,
Yeah, it doesn't.
making us feel like crap, and our cells are starving.
That's
so we
the
keep
best medical
feed-
term you've said all day.
Which one?
Making us feel like crap because we do.
And we're starving.
Yeah, and
literally.
we're hungry and we're frustrated. But people are living in chronic stress, as you
Prolonged
mentioned.
stress,
So they're
yeah.
living with this. So, but we still have to work.
Yeah.
So what's the solution? Is
What
there
can we
one?
do?
What can we do?
We have to eat properly. I can't stress enough that the one thing that will stress an adrenal gland is sugar, white flour, refined foods. If you put those things in, those adrenal glands are going to struggle. The second organ to go is the thyroid. And we know how important thyroid is to weight. If your
We all know
thyroid's
that.
if your thyroid's not working properly, you're going to begin to gain weight. So one of the most important things we can do is to eat properly.
Right.
Healthy meats, healthy veggies, stay away from the refined foods. Second thing is exercise. We can burn off some of that cortisol that we're secreting, and we can just stimulate our body to use the insulin properly.
We tend to think about eating healthy and working out just to get down to our right size, and you've made a huge point of how I always say it's so much more, but you've made the real clear case of why exercise is critically important. Eating healthy is so much more than just weight loss. It's really important.
Let me show you how I would evaluate a patient.
Okay, perfect.
Why don't you have a seat on the table here?
Okay.
And I'll we'll pretend that you came in with a neck discomfort.
Okay.
So I'm just going to stand behind you, and you sit up nice and tall for me.
All
And I'm just
right.
going to palpate your neck and shoulders, and I'm going to look for the quality of the musculature. So I'm just going to start kind of getting a sense of what we have here. And what I'm feeling is the muscles, but also those little joints I showed you underneath. So then I would tell you, Kim, I feel that you've got a lot of muscle tension on the left. You've got facet joint number 4 and 5 that are completely not moving. We're going to get those moving. We're going to get the nervous system flowing, and we're going to strip out the muscle.
Wow.
And so that's what we would do.
Okay, that sounds great.
Yeah. And it's a solution to the problem. It really fixes it. It's not covering it up with Motrin. It's not just, ignoring it. It's really
It's an emotional problem, but it's really a physical problem. And there
Yes.
are other solutions.
Oh my gosh, there's so many solutions.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
I really appreciate it. Now I need to make an appointment to come.
Absolutely. We love to take care
That's
of you.
great. I really do.
Good.
Great. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Good.
Dr. Dean!
Hey, Kim.
How you doing?
Fantastic.
Good, good. It was a wonderful interview, and as a matter of fact, Dr. Jean had so much really pertinent material. It was really hard to chop this one up. You know how we come in with a camera. We've done this with you before. We film for quite a while, and then at the end, Matt does his magic and chops it all up and does a nice little segment. I'm like, oh, you can't take that out. Can't take that out. Can't take that out. So what we're going to do, we've decided to post the entire 20-minute or so interview on our site unedited, because I know it's of interest to many of our members. Many of you guys really want this kind of information. So if you want to watch it in its entirety, it'll be next week, but it'll be ready sometime next week. So you just go to the shorts button, even though it's not really short, on the member side, and look for the full-length interview on stress with Dr. Jean. Because let me ask you, do you feel stressed?
All the time, absolutely. Yeah,
Really?
We're living in a very stressful time, and I think it's a very pertinent topic. I don't think there's anybody right now who isn't feeling stressed.
So whether it's chronic, big time wow stress, or the day-to-day little things that cause stress that we don't even realize, don't you think?
Right, and stress is individual. So something that might stress you out might be nothing to me, but it
Okay.
doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? We all have our level of stress.
Okay. Well, I've got some questions here.
Sure.
Are you ready? We're going to put
Yeah.
the doctor on the spot here. No, not really. This is a question. Why does my body say chocolate? I wrote this. No, I didn't really. Why does my body say chocolate at the end of a stressful day, even if it's not what I should be eating? Why am I wanting the chocolate?
Well, chocolate definitely releases chemicals in the brain that make us feel good. And I think at the end of the day, I know I'm looking for that little bit of something to settle me down, because you're so worked up from everything that's happened. You're probably pretty fatigued. You've got a lot on your mind. And that chocolate, it's a chemical sedative. It releases those happy hormones, and it really does work.
Okay.
Now you can have a little chocolate as long as it's the right kind. If you do the dark chocolate and it's not a large portion, it's probably not the worst strategy. The only thing I would say is it's got some caffeine and it could keep you awake.
Okay, so caffeine is not one of the foods you want to be having if you're stressed.
Right. Well, plus at night you don't want to have that because it's going to keep you up.
Does sleep have a lot to do with stress, like lack of sleep? I have to say, I was up till 4 o'clock this morning working on our business plan, which really was due a long time ago. So I was feeling a little stressed. And I really got into it, and I got it finished around 4 o'clock this morning.
Wow. Yahoo.
I was excited. It was very good. But how much does lack of sleep affect our stress levels or even our weight loss levels?
Huge. We all know about cortisol.
Yes.
Cortisol is released when we're stressed. Cortisol has to gradually increase throughout the day to energize us to do our work. But we have to be asleep long enough for that high level of cortisol to drop again. So if we're not asleep long enough, we're going to wake up and our body will have never achieved that deep level of sleep and rest. And that's why we wake up feeling exhausted.
That was one of our questions here. Is it true that I sleep well at night, but I wake up tired?
Absolutely. There could be a lot of reasons for that. One of them is we simply aren't getting those high stress levels down by the end of the morning. Another huge reason, and I don't know if any of you do this, but sometimes I do it when I'm stressed, is I have a big carb load late in the evening. Do you ever do that?
I have, yes.
Okay. And yeah.
I planned it in though.
We're all human, right?
That's right.
So we have maybe we're watching TV, it's 8 o'clock, you have a little craving, and you grab some cookies or whatever, maybe a bowl of ice cream, and then you go to sleep. In the middle of the night, your blood sugar drops very precipitously. You have a crash. You have a hypoglycemic episode right in the middle of the night.
Even while you're sleeping.
While you're sleeping, you're not aware of the symptoms, which would be jitteriness, crankiness, hunger, that sort of thing. And you wake up in the morning very hungover from that.
Okay.
And so pay attention to that. See if you can make a connection between having that sugary, high-carb snack later in the evening and waking up really cranky in the morning. So those are two reasons.
So not only when we're overeating at night do we go to bed with the acid reflux right up to here.
Oh my goodness.
But in the morning I have felt that sugar hangover. So that's why. And
absolutely.
Lack of sleep. Wow. So if you have questions that you want to ask Dr. Jean, definitely put them in the Ask Him a Question box. But also, please call us. We're going to take 2 phone calls tonight. And the 2 people that call in are going to get the Believe mugs that Sine made to so beautifully, wonderfully sent in for us. So the number is 877. It's toll free, 926-0344. So you can call in and we'll relay the question to Dr. Jean if you have something in particular that you want to ask. There's a couple more questions. Let's see. Does the doctor believe in inversion tables?
That's so funny. I've been asked that question a lot in the last few weeks.
I don't know what that is.
An inversion table is kind of a piece of equipment. You hook yourself up and you get to hang upside down.
Okay.
And I think they're helpful and they're very useful, and they'll target the muscles. They'll get your muscles to relax. They'll reverse gravity in essence because we're being pushed down by gravity. So it'll just kind of let everything unwind. So I think it's a useful tool.
Now, so that's great.
Yeah,
I'm going.
Right,
so,
because gravity's pushing on your discs and making them all shorter.
Everything's going down with gravity, Jean.
Join the club. So if you can invert yourself for a few minutes, a half hour, an hour a day, I think it's very effective.
Decompress. And is it kind of like traction or not really?
You're not going to get the benefit in the spine itself.
Okay.
You're not going to unlock joints or rehydrate discs.
Okay.
That's a little bit more complex. and you're going to need a little bit something different. But just in general, to take that just to reverse everything a little bit, I think it could be very helpful.
Oh, neat. That's good to know. Does insurance cover seeing a chiropractor? What is the rough amount for basic adjustment? Now, this is a national audience.
Sure.
So it's going to be, and do you go once a week, once a month, or once a month for it to be effective? Like, what do you recommend?
Well, insurance does, most insurance carriers cover chiropractic. As a matter of fact, in the state of Connecticut, it's a law that they have to cover chiropractic. That's different from state to state. In our office, we do accept almost every insurance company. Okay. The rough amount for a basic adjustment definitely varies by area. I would say it's anywhere from $45 probably to around $75 based on the economic.
And for an adjustment, was that what you were doing with me in the example there when you were pressing and?
Yeah, often a treatment will include many things like muscle work, electrical muscle stim, perhaps a hot pack, maybe some exercises, the adjustment of the joint. So it's a pretty comprehensive treatment.
And it feels really good too, I gotta say that. Amazing. A couple more here. Sleepy time tea, chamomile, those kind of teas, do they work?
They really work, and I use them myself. Actually, my whole family uses them. Chamomile's wonderful. It's just an herb that will naturally help you kind of just settle yourself, and I think it's a great tool to go to bed with.
Here's one from Di. Hi, Diane. For Dr. Jean, can someone who had surgery on their back 30 years ago and now has multiple herniated discs, how be helped by a chiropractor?
That's a fantastic question, because I often will get a person say, oh, I've had surgery, I can't see you. Well, we have 5 lumbar vertebra. Yep. Usually only 1 or 2 of them were operated on. So what you want to do is you want to keep those other 3 as healthy as you can. So definitely you want to see a chiropractor even more so if you've had surgery to your low back, because you're at more risk and you need to keep the ones you've got, healthy.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
great.
Definitely.
This is from Beverly. Can it help snoring to have an adjustment?
Interesting.
That's an interesting question.
I don't have any research and I don't have any hardcore evidence of that. But I think anytime you're taking pressure off of the nervous system, letting somebody breathe better, it's going to help. So that's going to be a case-by-case basis, and I don't know for sure.
I guess insomnia is a problem causing the cortisol issues to be exacerbated.
Let's see.
Insomnia, you can't get to sleep.
Here's the thing with usually what happens with people who can't get to sleep, or perhaps you might be a type of person who can get to sleep but then pops awake at 2 or 3 in the morning with obsessive behaviors. That's definitely a highly overstressed individual, someone whose adrenal glands are exhausted, cortisol levels are skyrocketing, and that's why you can't stay asleep. Your body's in alarm state, it's in fight or flight, and it will not relax.
Wow.
Critical to get those adrenal glands nourished, calm down, and so that you can sustain sleep, because then that's a vicious cycle. Then you're tired. Then you're going to reach for coffee and sugar. That's going to kill your adrenal glands even more, and you're going to go round and round.
So how do we get the adrenal glands healthy? Is it through adjustment? Is it through diet? Is it through...
It's a very comprehensive program. You're going to eat properly. You're going to make sure your blood sugar doesn't drop. You know, maybe you talk about eating every 2 hours or so, 2 or 3 hours, to keep that hunger at bay.
Right.
You're going to manage your stress levels. You're going to exercise. You're going to pray, meditate something. Probably some nutritional supplementation is going to be critical with this person. Just basically education. I don't think people really understand how stress is translating physically and what they have to do. I think working with a qualified practitioner is the goal. You know what I mean?
And I do have somebody on the phone, so if you be patient 1 more minute, because what you just said really good. I think this is Jan B. The first letter got cut off, but there are tons of chiropractors in my area. How do I find a good one in my city? What questions do I ask? What do I look for?
That's a great question, and I always tell patients who are moving and they want, they see me and they want to find someone, is ask around. See who everybody loves. Go on a referral. That's what we do for all kinds of doctors. I think that's the best. If somebody says, oh my gosh, I love that person, but ultimately when you meet that person, you're going to know if it's a fit or not.
Right.
But if you need to just call, if you don't know anybody in the area, see if they do some muscle work, do they have any special techniques? Do they have any special qualifications, certifications? Do they specialize in sports injury children? What's their specialty?
Niche.
What's their little niche? Do they take your insurance? What's their cash fee? That's that sort of thing. But I think, you know what, on that first visit, don't you know, you know if it's a fit or not.
Yeah.
So I think that's how to go.
If I move, I'm just going to take you with me.
Oh, that'd be great.
Okay,
Where are you going?
Nowhere right now. All right, we're going to take a question up from a caller. Hi, this is Kim. Who's this?
Hi, Kim. It's Cheryl. How are you?
Cheryl? How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Thanks for calling in. How's your weight loss going?
Pardon me?
How's your weight loss going?
Good. I'm down to 10 pounds today.
10 pounds today. Yay, we're cheering you on here.
Thank you.
Do you have a question for Dr. Jean?
I do. My mom has degeneration of the spine due to arthritis, and I'm wondering if there's anything that a chiropractor could do to help that.
That's a great question. Her mom has degeneration of the spine due to arthritis. Is there anything that a chiropractor can do to help that? And
that's exactly what we treat, that degenerative spinal conditions. We're going to gently mobilize the joints to get them moving, because I'm sure she's stiff and sore. We're going to massage the muscles, take all the stress up off of the muscles that are just responding to that cranky spine underneath. And we're going to make a lot of lifestyle recommendations, what to eat, how to move, what not to do. That is the perfect condition to be treated by a chiropractor.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome.
That's good news.
That is great news. And I would not have known that either. You kind of think, I threw my back out, I need to go see a chiropractor. But the more I learn, the more I realize that this is really wellness. It really is overall wellness medicine.
It is. It's
it
prevention,
really is.
Absolutely.
And prevention.
Yeah.
So, and I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on your great weight loss. Where are you calling from?
Much.
What state?
Pardon me?
What state are you calling from?
California.
From California. So it's nice and early out there. And you're going to send us some of that springtime and sunshine? Because we'd love it.
I would. I'd love to. Yeah, we had a nice day today.
Oh, good. Enjoy it. Get out there and walk.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for calling, and make sure that you email members@kimbenson.com and put in the email address that you'd like to have your mug sent to.
Oh, thank you.
Okay,
I'm
thanks.
excited.
Okay, me too. All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, I've got one mug left. I have a few more questions here, but I have one mug left. If anybody else wants to give a call to Dr. Jane, you can see how lovely and easily she answers questions. So this is before it's too late. She says, I have a spot at the base of my neck, about an inch to the right, that feels sort of like a buzzing. It happens from time to time, not constant. It isn't pain. It isn't a tick. It's like a buzzing. What could that be?
I know exactly what she's talking about. I know what that sensation is. It's really a response of the muscle. It's like a little micro muscle spasm, and it's definitely from stress and from the joints tightening up underneath, and that area is just really under pressure. So
She needs an adjustment?
she probably needs some care.
Some care.
Yes, definitely some relaxation in that area. It's an easy one.
Okay.
And it's not a serious problem. I mean, it's not like something critical.
Okay. That's good. Good to know. So now you know. Oh, we have one more caller. All right. Hi, this is Kim. Thanks for calling in.
Hi, Kim.
Who's this?
This is Sonia.
Hi, how are you, Sonia?
I'm doing fine.
That's great. And where are you calling from? Tell everybody.
Missouri.
From Missouri. Awesome. How's your weight loss program going?
It's going pretty good.
Good. Good. You have anything great to report for us? Anything you did this week that you really were happy with, or recently?
No, nothing yet.
So we're going to start really planning and pulling out the paper and pencil?
Yes.
It's a great place to start. I'm really glad you called in. Do you have a question for Dr. Jean?
I do. Can chiropractic help with incontinence?
Can chiropractic help with incontinence?
I'm going to say probably not.
Okay.
We'd be stretching the envelope there. She'd probably be best to consult her urologist.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Probably not, she said. I don't know if you heard the answer. She recommended you consult with a urologist, but that's a great question, a question that a lot of us women struggle with.
Well, can I qualify that?
Yes.
If it's a sudden onset of incontinence, it can be from disc disease, but you would know that. If it's a sudden onset, suddenly you're incontinent, and you've got pressure on the spinal cord.
Okay.
But I'm guessing that she's just talking about the kind of thing that we experience gradually over time as we age.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that you would want to consult your urologist for.
So did you hear that answer?
Yes, I did.
Awesome. So if you email members@kimbenson.com, Peter will put in there that you won the mug and put your address in, and he will get that out to you. It's so good to hear from you, to hear from Missouri.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for calling in. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This is Beverly. She says her brother has ringing in the ears and has had them checked, and they say nothing can be done. Would something that you could do might be able to help?
That's a condition called tinnitus, and it's very annoying to have ringing in your ears.
I could imagine.
And typically there is no medical treatment for it. So what I would say to a patient who presented to me is, let's try a conservative course of care. Let's treat you for a few weeks and see if the symptoms resolve. I think that it's case by case. Everybody's different, but the bottom line is the risk-benefit ratio is really low. There's really very little risk. If we can normalize the nervous system in that area, the potential for the ringing to go away is fairly high. So trying that option is really kind of a no-brainer.
Right.
It's like you're going to get the benefit anyway. Your neck's going to be mobile. You're going to be moving better.
Nothing lost.
Nothing lost. As a matter of fact, you're going to have great mobility in your neck. You're going to be healthier that way. And if the tinnitus goes away, if that was the cause of the tinnitus, because certainly it can be caused by pressing, the nerves being irritated, then it's a win-win.
That's excellent.
Yeah, really, he should definitely try it.
I hope that helps. That's really exciting, and let us know if it does help. This is from Robin, and I'm going to take this as the last one, I think. Can chiropractors do anything for bad knees? I have congenital lack of cartilage, not sure the spelling, between my kneecaps and knee joints. And as best as she understood the doctor, that's what it is when he looked at her x-rays.
In our practice, I practice with my husband, we treat bad knees all the time. As a matter of fact, Penny was one of my knee patients.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly.
So we definitely use different modalities for the knees. We use electrical muscle stim, we muscle strip them, we adjust those knees, we do strengthening exercises, stretching, and it really makes a big difference. Especially patients who are kind of trying to stretch their time before knee replacement surgery.
Right.
You're kind of too young for that.
Right.
We can keep those people very pain-free, very mobile. They come in. It's going to be more of a chronic condition, so they'll be coming in more frequently.
Right.
But it certainly beats a knee replacement at age 50.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
so you're building up the
absolutely.
muscles around the knee, which is kind of giving more support to the actual knee joint.
We're not only strengthening muscles, we're mobilizing that joint, getting it unstuck, decreasing inflammation in that area with the electrical muscle stim, taking the painful muscle spasm out. And
a lot you can do.
A lot.
Wow.
A lot. Really keep people mobile and active and out of pain. And off the drugs, off the Motrin, off
Right.
of the anti-inflammatories.
Right. Sciatica, I would
Oh,
think. Cute. That's
bread
like
and
the
butter. Hello.
right.
Come on
That's what I
in.
would go to you for.
That is what we do day in, day out.
Yep.
It's very effective, wonderful treatment for sciatica.
Okay.
Non-surgical, no side effects. It's really wonderful.
Awesome. I can't seem to fall asleep at night. Is there any relaxing thing I can do in bed?
You need to start your relaxation way before you go to bed. You need to start, all evening kind of just winding it down. Maybe develop a little bedtime ritual where you have your tea, you do some quiet reading. Definitely don't watch the news.
Right.
Right?
A lot of stress there.
Really just have that calming environment. I say reading something soothing, something spiritual, something uplifting, something calming. Don't talk to anybody you don't like late at night. Maybe a little meditation practice.
No.
Drink the chamomile tea.
Right.
Do some nice, hygiene at night. Get into bed. Make sure your bedroom is just a place where you really want to go lay down. There aren't stacks of books and work by your bed.
Papers and computers.
The biggest mistake people make is that television in your bedroom. put a blanket over it. That thing emits so much electromagnetic field, it's zapping you all night long. Literally throw a blanket over, and definitely don't have it on. Make sure it's shut off. And you know that little clock by your bed with that light?
Yes.
Turn it around. Make sure it's pitch black, and pitch black. It has to be absolutely no light in the room.
So guys, if you're having trouble sleeping at night, you've had a wealth of information that's going to help you in your weight loss. It's going to help you in your overall health. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's always fun to come see you, Kim.
You're so sweet. Yeah. Thank you. Awesome. Well, now that you've heard the info on stress and so much more, let's head to our Wednesday night meeting that was taped last night for those of you who are new, to put some of these stress relieving tips into action, and starting with overcoming stress by trying to relax. We were just talking about that. Take a look. Everybody take a really deep breath. Deep. Hold it. And let it out when you want to. Oh, I felt that. Didn't that feel good? Do it again. Yeah. And you can work your way down and just really tighten up your shoulders and your arms and then let it go. I've done it before in here. Was anybody in here when I did it with the music playing and the lights were dim? I'm like 5 minutes it took to go through your whole body, tense it and let it go. Do you know that what that does is that it burns up some of this excess adrenaline that's rushing through our body, and the cortisol that's coursing through there. It really physically helps you. Does it help you feel a little bit more relaxed? So exercise or releasing the energy is going to be one of the big things that you can do. You don't have to go to the gym. I mean, obviously that's going to be absolutely great if you do. You don't have to get to the gym. You do have to do something with that pent up hormones that are in your body to help you out. And so if you just, another thing that it's going to do, if you stop and make yourself do like some deep breaths and just doing a couple areas of your body to relax them, what I really want to get across from a motivational standpoint tonight is it's not, the first thing we want to do is to run for the food. And it's kind of a knee-jerk reaction because we have built up, life happens, there's stress, we reach for the food. We've built up that relationship, that ratio together. We need to start breaking that. And so if you make yourself do something that's going to give you a minute to think, so while you're taking those deep breaths and while you're doing one or two of those little exercises, if you start to think and say these words to yourself, feeling really stressed, eating is only going to make my stress worse. What can I do to not overeat? What's on my list for today? Now that's assuming everybody's planned out their day, right? What's on my list that I can have if I want to go and have something, number one, so that I'm not just grabbing stuff. And, or what's another thing that can really alleviate the stress I'm feeling? All right, so is relaxing a big thing when you come home for grabbing food? Is that like, in response to stress, maybe the stress isn't immediate, but here's your relaxation period. All right, so let's identify that. We're home from work, or we're home from school, which is work, or whatever. We want to eat something. We've had a stressful day. We know we're going to grab for that. First of all, you've got to want to stop it. You've got to know that you can, and then you've got to think through something that you can do differently. If you stand in the kitchen trying to fight it, you're going to be in trouble. It's just going to be that same old fight. What can you do differently? Now for everybody it's going to be different, but give me a couple ideas of what you can do to break that immediate wanting to go for something reaction. You could have had a V8. All right, you could substitute something else. You could substitute a bag of popcorn, which is a whole grain, gives you the hand to mouth, the salty crunch crunch. You could substitute a V8, which gives you some of your vegetables. Thank you. So you could substitute something else. What else can you do? Remove yourself from the situation. It could be so many different scenarios. Maybe you got to get dinner made, and how frustrating is that? Because you're standing there, you got to be in. All right, so if that's your downfall every day, I got to tell you, you got to do something different at dinner. You got to do crock pot in the morning. If you know every day at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, getting dinner done is your downfall, you've got to plan it out so that you're not standing there prepping a meal at 5 o'clock. You're finishing up a meal, you're finishing up, getting it on the table or something, but you're basically done. You're not trying to figure it out at least. I mean, it's planned. So planning is a really big part of that. Maybe you don't have kids and you can say, for a week, I'm going to stop and pick up a 6-inch sub for dinner every night. That's going to be my dinner, and you have a plan for that to go with you, and you factor it in. That's great when you're only taking care of yourself. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of different scenarios it can be. And for me to make, here's what you do, it's different for everybody. But overall, what is this all talking about? What are we doing? What? We're thinking it through. We're planning it out. We're trying to figure out what we're doing in response to our stress. And we're trying to figure out something for us that's going to work to make our actions different. Because every night or every day, if you're falling in the same place in response to stress, you absolutely are going to continue to struggle at that time. But you can figure out something different. You can put yourself in a different scenario. It doesn't have to be forever. Oh, I don't want to go out and eat Subway every night forever. Well, for a week, how about we break it? Or try doing, like the crock pot meal, or even a Smart Ones, whatever. Come and going to the salad bar on the way home. What else? Can I tell you what you're going to have for dinner tomorrow night? No. I mean, pick something. Don't let that be a stumbling block to you. Pick something and eat it no matter what. Well, what if I don't want it? Do you want to lose weight? Pick something and work backwards. It's okay. You want it.
Or if somebody calls and says, come on over for dinner, I'm not going to say no. That's my,
And could you say, I'm going to bring cheesy chicken enchiladas tonight. Thank you for inviting me, because I've already got them in the crock pot or in the oven. So do you see what I'm saying? We want it all. We want to have the flexibility of not having to write it down, of not having to plan out ahead. We want to have this wonderful flexibility, but it's not getting us anywhere, so we can't have that. So we need to make a decision and plan out our meals if we really want to lose weight, if that's the area that's hard. Hi. This is stressful. You fixed my mic.
I did.
I didn't want you to.
Oh.
Because I'm going to do something. For those of you who don't know, For those of you who don't know, today is Penny's birthday.
They already sang to me.
Did they really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now we're going to all sing together.
1, 2, 3, 4. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Penny.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Only 40 years old.
I am not 40. Let me just get this clear for everybody. I'm not 40. This is the last birthday I'm celebrating because it's 39 forever.
You're a young chick.
Well,
Either
compared
way.
to some people, but
I'm never going to hire anybody younger than me again.
well, oh, you.
Me, sorry.
Whatever.
Okay, we're all back together.
All right.
So it's so true. We're getting frustrated when we were just watching the meeting from last night. We get so frustrated sometimes at what we have to do or at the structure that we have to keep that keeps us on track, but it's really what we need.
It is.
It's like we can't do it any other way. So anyway, it's hard. We have to wrap up the meeting talking to you about your week, your struggles, and of course all those important woohoos. We want to hear what you guys have to say.
So we have some shout outs here.
Okay.
But first I want to answer a question. Somebody asked, and I gave it to Dr. Jean, but I really wanted to answer it myself. Does adjusting make you not snore? So my husband, we go to Dr. Jean. That's how we found her.
That's how we found
And
Dr. Jean.
my husband went and got an adjustment from her.
I didn't know that.
Yesterday.
I thought it was just you.
And he snored last night. So I'm thinking no.
Yeah, but he wasn't going to be treated for that.
For adjustment. It was the adjustment, right, Jean? Yeah.
Okay.
So, no, it doesn't work.
At least for him.
At least for him.
All right, you're playing with papers. Who are
I
we
know.
going to shout
All
out
right, so
to?
this is quite long, but it was talking about some non-scale victories, and it was from Jan B, and she's doing great. She's a caterpillar that's becoming a butterfly, and she's working very hard, and she feels God's blessing, and I just wanted to share that.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
I loosely paraphrased that, but it was, anyway, these are the shout-outs.
All right. I just want to kind of wrap up the meeting and wrap it with everybody tonight. If you're feeling discouraged, this is part of life. This is part of learning how to take a basic diet, how to take the habits that we've lived with our entire lives, and we're trying to turn them around and become not new people inside, but we're trying to work into new habits. We can still be the same wonderful people, we can still be spontaneous, but we have to have that structure of a diet program to keep us in check to start with. So I just want to encourage you guys, if you're feeling off track, get out your paper and pencil. Don't do anything else, but write down what you're going to do and figure out how you're going to stick with it. If you need help, please call our office during the week. We are here during business hours and sometimes beyond. You can catch us. But we're here to help you and to work with you. So reach out and make that phone call or send us an email.
Email 24/7.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
We're always there.
Fortunately, but unfortunately.
Okay, go ahead. You have one?
I do. I have Dynamic Diva, Marilyn. She's lost another 2 pounds for a total of 24 pounds.
Oh my gosh! And I was thinking of having her sing to you for me tonight, like happy birthday.
That would have been much better
Much
than
better. I know, but I thought of it too late. So next birthday, Marilyn, I'm going to give you a call. Hi, Kim, my 14-year-old daughter, this is from Grace, Gia, pronounced Gia, is joining tonight. She is feeling pretty low about her weight problems, had a hard time sticking to a program and could use some encouragement. Gia, it's not easy, but you know what? You're working with your mom. You're going to do it together. You're going to keep each other accountable. And the most important thing that you can do is just to focus on eating healthy and feeling better about yourself and getting out there, moving a little bit. And you guys keep each other accountable and find some great recipes that you can really enjoy. Download our guilt-free grocery list and start there at the grocery store. Any of you guys that really don't know where to start, there's all the lightest products on the market are there. It's a downloadable K-tool, so just pop in there and download. That might be a great place to start. Congratulations on starting your healthy journey. You can do it.
And lunches, packing your own lunches could be a big difference.
You know, it's not as much fun in the beginning. We always send our kids to school, always, to buy lunch because we're busy people.
Yeah.
Who wants to get up and make lunch?
Right.
Mark, 2 times this year, I think, we've sent the kids without packing it. It makes a difference in the amount of calories and the quality of food that you're eating. Mm-hmm. You can have a lot more food without all the saturated fats, without all that high sodium. Think about really packing your own lunches. It's a great idea, Penny. Thanks. Happy birthday to Phyllis C. on Saturday.
Happy
Woohoo!
birthday.
Happy birthday, Phyllis.
And the Marchies.
Let's see, Cheryl Grandma, I believe that was Cheryl that called in, Cheryl Grandma.
Oh,
I think that was
cool.
her. Is excited to say that I'm down a total of 10 pounds. Check and see.
I will.
Cheryl, tell us if it was you. I'm pretty sure it was you, but I didn't want to say because I wasn't sure. I should have just said. Okay. She's down 10 pounds, yes, because she had said she was down 10 pounds. I'm very thankful for this meeting and Monday nights. Lots of encouragement and love. Way to go. We're proud of you. Mary Teebs. Hi, Kim. Lost 2.8 at weigh-in this week. However, I've been struggling with the stress eating and this week, so thanks for addressing it. Happy birthday to Penny from Mary Teebs. Great meeting for you, Mary, for all of us. Chaperone Bo at AOL. I'm excited. I went below the 200-pound level. I'm sorry, but that's a great one. That's going from Tudorville to
Wonderland.
That's right. You sound like you weren't sure.
I wasn't.
You're Alice, baby. You're in Wonderland. That's really exciting.
I love that.
You told me to hang in there, and you were right. I love the exchange program. I'm never hungry. Thank you so much. God bless you and your staff. You are great.
You're going to cry.
No, I'm not. I never cry. Katie Mack lost a pound. Woo! Finally got a hold of my plan again, down 2.8 this week. Patty Ann, she was really struggling.
That is awesome.
That's awesome. Still feeling hugely overwhelmed, wanting to begin the exchange program. Lisa, we've been working with Lisa. Lisa, make sure that you're chatting with Penny.
Lisa, can you email me, penny@convention.com? I lost your contact information. I'm back.
Is she the Lisa that we were looking at?
Is that
all
the
the
Lisa
Lisas?
from California? Because if that's the Lisa, because I met a Lisa in
Penny's
the
got-
meeting room. Anyway, so, and I just want to say that on Tuesday night I was there and I was talking to Lisa from Connecticut. And then Annette jumped in and it was like, so like out of the blue, and it was a lot of fun, and we were able to work together, her and I.
Penny's
so that's
in there
really
a lot
fun.
on Tuesday nights.
Tuesday
helping
nights
people.
I'm usually in there.
Lisa, I have to say, I looked up Lisas in California, and there's like dozens of them, and none of them matched your phone number. So I wasn't sure which username you were. So seriously, if you could please email Penny, we were looking for you. So
I would like to meet with you.
Okay. Cine May 2 lost 3 pounds. Thank you again for those adorable mugs. That was just
nice.
such a nice gift. 18 pounds lost since January. Now listen to this. Her daughter Katie is age 11, is down a size, and is proud to wear jeans she hasn't worn in a long time. Oh, I'm so proud of you,
Awesome.
Katie.
Mom and daughter doing it together.
I'm wondering if, I don't want to hook people up, but if Grace and Gia and Pam, who's Cine, and Katie might want to, kind of email and encourage each other. I think that's a great idea. I'm so excited. Lots to pound this week. Cat T, way to go. Awesome. Pound is this big. Robin M, I've lost 2 pounds this week. In fact, except for 1 week that she had gained. She was perfect. She doesn't know why, and that does happen. She's lost an average of 1.5 to 2 pounds a week. Nothing earth-shattering. How do those Biggest Losers do it? That's all they do.
Don't get me started.
But it's oh so easy to follow the exchanges plan, and I love seeing regular losses on the scale. Robin, that's wonderful. Congratulations. So that's great. Congratulations,
and then Edra
guys.
Ann down 1 pound this week.
Awesome, Edra. We got a lot of 1-pounders. That's really great. I know we've gone over, but it's been a really important topic. We will be addressing it again. Yes, Dr. Jean will be back. A lot of people in there asking. Let's end tonight's meeting with a verse, if you don't mind, and I'll share it with you. And if you want something to relax you before you go to bed, you might just want to memorize this one. I was reminded of it today in the blogs by Beverly from Minnesota, and it was echoed by our dear Florida Phyllis. It's Philippians 1:5, and it goes like this: being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Keep on keeping on, everybody. See you on Monday night in the chats. Have an awesome weekend. Don't blow it this weekend. You can do it. Bye-bye.